Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Yesterday we had a glimpse of the start of the details of birth of Sri Ramanuja. Before we go on with the details, I would like to make a mention here which has relevance in the life of Sri Ram and Sri Ramanuja. You must be aware of Sri Ramayana and some important details there. You would also remember some characters who appear in the story of Sri Rama. I am going to mention 4 or 5 names. One is Guha Maharaj, Akalya, Sabari, Jatayu, among others. These characters are going to appear in the life of Ramanuja, and we will get to know about it as we travel along. Let me go to the story for the present. For the present, let me say Ramanuja, 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 Jai Jai Ramanuja, Jai Jai Ramanuja, Jai Jai Ramanuja, Jai Jai Ramanuja. We were with Asuri Kesava Somayaji and Kantimati ji at Sri Perambadur when a young, wonderful baby was born with a special glow on his face, and we also noted that the babe's uncle Thirumalai Nambi had named him as Lakshmana, or in other words, Rama Anuja. In Tamil, it is referred to as Ilaya Alvar. Very strange that both Sri Rama and Sri Ramanuja were born in the same month in the adjacent stars, constellations. I would like to digress here for a second. You would also know Sri Adi Shankara was also born in the same month and in the same star as Sri Ramanuja. If you would have observed every year the birthdays of Sri Ramanuja and Sri Adi Shankara would fall on the same day or a day before or next, depending upon some other details. The point I would like to mention here is Adi Shankara who was born in the month of Chaitra, the same constellation of Arudra, was a great leader in Sanatana Dharma. But for him, we would have lost, nearly lost, if not lost, nearly lost the Sanatana Dharma by forces from elsewhere or from within. The first appreciation in the matter of stabilization or bringing of back in strength and glory the Sanatana Dharma, namely the Vedas, the believers in Vedas, and the spread of Vedas all over India. The credit goes to Sri Adi Shankara. There is no doubt about it. He was also a very strong Advaiti, but as he grew up, remember he died very young. As he grew up, he also realized Bhakti Marga is a better path to enjoy divine life and to be with divinity. And classic presentation of Bhaja Govindam tells us that he was full of bhakti. He himself says, knowing the grammar is not a matter of greatness, but it is the mention of the name Govinda and repeated bhakti towards him is a better way to attain him. With that, let me pray my salutations to Adi Shankara, who established gloriously, or revived gloriously, the philosophy of Sanatana Dharma back in Bharatadesham. But it's a matter of joy to know that Rama, who almost lived the Vedas and showed us the path, was revived by Adi Shankara, who was also born in the same month, adjacent to the constellation of Sri Rama. And the spread of Sanatana Dharma with a bhakti mold belonged to Sri Ramanuja, who was also born in the same month of Chitra, in the same constellation Arudra. With that, let us go back to the story. As I said, the boy had, I can say, triple benefits. One, he had the reflections of the greatness of Sri Rama. He had the blessings of Lord Krishna, who gave us the Gita Upanishad, and Alvars, who were the great saints who cultivated the Bhakti Marga. Ramanuja had a benefit over Sankara because Alvars had cultivated Bhakti, and Ramanuja was able to absorb that and utilize that in showing God to people. If you stay inwards, read only, it gives you a joy, all right. But when you come out, when you see the deity in procession, that gives you a much more joy. One can visit a temple, one may not be in a condition to visit a temple. Or even if he goes to the town, he may not be able to go into the temple. Whereas, when a procession is taken out, everybody who is interested in having the worship of the Lord could do it. So that is how Ramanuja was better equipped to bring and spread the Bhakti cult all over. Now let's go into the actual life of Sri Ramanuja. He was born, he was very bright, and he had his necessary ceremonies performed at the appropriate age. He had his Upanayanam, and Sarvakrutu, Kesava Somayaji, was able to lead him through the Vedic life. There are 2 points here. Kesava Somayaji was a Sarvakrutu. He is a person who was able to perform any yajna, homa, mentioned in the Vedas and Sastras. And there was nobody in that region of that competence. But the point is, he made a living by performing all these yajnas and shastras, but never accumulated wealth. Why? How do I say this? We'll just see it in a minute from now. You know, I said Ramanuja had his Upanayanam at the appropriate age, and he was married to a girl called Tanjambambal, Rakshakambal, born and brought up in a conservative way in matter of strict discipline of an orthodox set of people. She was almost, you can say, rule-bound. Whether such a quality is going to contribute to the life of Sri Ramanuja later will be explored and explained in detail when we come to that. The point here is, he was married at the age of 16. The whole family of Sri Ramanuja as well as Tanjambambal were very happy that they were married. The two families got united. The joy saw no bounds. However, when Ramanuja was just 17 or a little over, his father, Sarvakrutu, Kesava Somayaji, passed away. Now, Kesava Somayaji, the only breadwinner, passed away. The family found that no means of living in Sri Perambadur, and therefore they decided to live and try living in Kanchipuram, the well-known Sri Vaishnava place and the great headquarters of the relevant time. So they moved, the family had to move to Kanchipuram. That is why I said Sarvakrutu was a great exponent, had the command and control over the conduct of homas, yajnas. However, he as a typical Brahmin did not accumulate wealth for the family to enjoy late on his demise. Well, this is a quality typical of a Brahmin of those days. But having shifted to Kanchipuram, they were in a lurch as what to do. And we will continue with this tomorrow. Till then, Jai Sri Ramanuja, Jai Sri Ramanuja, Jai Sri Ramanuja.